A picture-perfect afternoon in Nashville, Tennessee, as we get ready for the Titans and the Packers. Green Bay has won the toss. Best start in franchise history for the Titans. They've won 10 consecutive regular season games. Packers have won 2 in a row over the Seahawks and the Colts.
This is going to be a great game this afternoon. Two really, really good coaches. The Tennessee Titans kind of follow the mentality of Jeff Fisher. Tony talked about it, in the trenches, great offensive line, run the football, play tough defense. Mike McCarthy, he's not going to get into a chess match. He's going to look to throw a knockout punch early for these Green Bay Packers.
Rob Baronis gets things started. Opening kickoff taken out the 2 by Will Blackman. And Blackman out across the 25 to the 27. Stanford Kegler made the tackle on special teams. Aaron Rodgers leads the Packers out on offense. Aaron signed a long-term contract extension earlier this week.
And we talked about the Green Bay Packers getting healthy. Most importantly, Aaron Rodgers got hurt about a month ago in that Tampa Bay game with his shoulder. That is back through the football, the best he has since that injury this past Thursday.
Check out.
Empty backfield for the Packers on first down.
Look for them Titans to bring pressure when he sees that empty backfield.
From the 28, here comes the pressure. The pass was batted down as Javon Curse applied the pressure and knocked down Aaron Rodgers.
Goose, you found this one out before the game. Not so much just the empty backfield, but the 4 wide receiver set. They squeeze everything down, turn Javon Curse loose. I might want to block Javon Curse and maybe turn somebody else loose in this situation.
Don't give him a free line to the quarterback like we saw right there. Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, would rather go and get pressure than play coverage against this Green Bay offense.
Ryan Grant in the backfield, 2 tight ends, 2nd and 10 from the 28. Rodgers to the air for the first time. Pass was behind Greg Jennings. Cortland Finnegan on the coverage.
We talked about this Green Bay Packer offense getting off to a quick start, wanting to maybe take some shots down the field, and here's that defense they'll be trying to do it against. A great front 7, all kind of keyed by Albert Haynesworth up front. Keith Bullock handles the controls, and a very, very tough secondary.
Good start for the Tennessee.
Caught up in this whole scenario, not even really paying attention to the game clock, didn't even realize it had run out.
Packers must get to the 38. 4 wide receivers. Rodgers pass incomplete behind Donald Driver. Packers go 3 and out. Tremendous start for the Titans defense.
A great start by the Titans defense, and that was one of my concerns. It was such a big, emotional, divisional win Monday night against the Indianapolis Colts that you wondered what they were going to have on a short week to start this game. If they can carry this emotion from the first series through this football game, holy cow, this Titans team is impressive.
Derek Frost inside his own 10. Chris Carr has been a terrific addition coming over from Oakland. Fair catch called for by Carr at the 33-yard line. Our first look at the Tennessee offense following the 44-yard punt. Vince Young started week 1. Kerry Collins took over, and the 14-year veteran makes his 7th start of the season.
And Jeff Fisher said Kerry Collins will remain our quarterback as long as we keep winning, and they have done that, and he's kind of added a steadying influence to this offense. Not real explosive, not going to, hurt you down the field, but manages the game well. What every quarterback has to do, relies on that offensive line in the running game to really be the focus of the offense.
From the 34-yard line, the rookie out of East Carolina, Chris Johnson. Out to the 38-yard line, gain of 4. Johnson leads the AFC in rushing. He's 5th in the league. Packers defensive unit ranked 17th in the NFL.
And I think there's a lot of mutual respect between both of these groups. I think the Tennessee Titans feel it's one of the better groups they have. Nick Barnett handles the communications with his Packers defense that will have to be gap sound against this Tennessee running attack.
Off the play fake to Johnson. Collins under pressure got rid of it, but Brady Papinga was right there to make the tackle.
fundamentally sound today, Goose. They're not going to do a whole lot of elaborate things to beat you. They're going to test your ability to do your job every snap. You see a run, then we just run a simple little boot off that run action.
And you know Kerry's going to go and try to control the game with little short passes. That defensive line for Green Bay is going to have to get up off the ground if they're down there and get up and run to the ball, because they're going to have opportunities to go and get turnovers with a lot of short dink and dunk passes.
No gain for Skate. 3rd down and 6. Collins, pump fake. Now he takes off. And Kerry Collins has a first down out to the 47-yard line. Collins needed 6. He gained 8.
Great job by Kerry Collins, understanding what the Green Bay Packers do defensively. They are tough, in your face, man-to-man defense, back to the ball style. He looks downfield, nobody's open, everybody's running with somebody in man coverage. Pull that ball down, get enough for the first down, and get your offense another set of downs.
Kerry told us on Friday there are different packages for me than for Vince. For some reason, there are no running plays. But we saw Collins use his feet there. From the 47 on first down. Collins going deep. Al Harris on the coverage. Harris returning for the Packers after missing the last 4 games.
Great to see Al Harris back on the field. And really, what a great job by the Packer organization, kind of going through the whole process with that spleen injury. They had an opportunity, to kind of put him on IR for the season. They wanted to wait and see if he could get back on the field, and what a great decision that was. You see right there, the last 4 games, he's been out. He's a key ingredient to this defense being able to be so physical on the outside.
Atari Bigby has returned as well, the strong safety who missed the last 5 games. Collins looks to set up the screen to Johnson. Johnson into Packers territory, a first down and more. Finally tackled inside the 30 by the combination of A.J. Hawk and Nick Collins after Johnson gains 25 yards.
The Green Bay Packer defense is going to have to rally and get to the football. Chris Johnson is very explosive. It's a simple screen. Look at the offensive lineman. They just push the defenders out of the way. They give Chris Johnson the alley to get back in. Look at the job by Kevin Mawai. Jake Scott right there just clearing that alley so he can get up, down the sideline for a big gain.
Lendale White has replaced Johnson in the Tennessee backfield along with the fullback, Ahmad Hall. This is White. White down to the 26-yard line. Bigby and Michael Montgomery on the tackle. The smash and dash combination of Johnson and White. Johnson, we mentioned, leads the AFC in rushing, and White leads the entire league with 10 touchdowns.
He is your goal line specialist. He has a real nose for the end zone. He showed that at USC when he was at college. He's continuing that in the NFL.
2 tight ends, 2nd down and 7. Good protection. Collins, nice catch. Brandon Jones reached up, makes the catch, and picks up another Titans first down.
You know, the defensive line for these Green Bay Packers only rushing 4. We see them get a lot of pressure. That offensive line does a great job of going, keeping Kerry Collins nice and open, finds his receiver. The middle of the field is an area where the Titans like to attack also, Moose.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get some crossing routes right there. You saw Brandon Jones kind of pop open to Kerry Collins right in the middle of the field. They'll work the seams against this Packer defense, probably down here in the red zone area.
From the 16, the handoff to Johnson, cuts it through his left, and gains 3 down to the 13 before he was tackled by Brandon Chiller.
Titans just very methodical with their approach offensively. And we saw the one shot down the field by Kerry Collins earlier in this drive, but we've seen the screen pass. We've seen the commitment to the run. We've seen boot play action off of that. They do all the little things right. Their attention to detail is excellent. They don't beat themselves. That allows them to play this style of offensive football.
Nice play of this drive, 2nd down and 7 from the Green Bay 13. Collins looking for the fullback, Ahmad Hall. Nick Barnett with the hit on Hall, 3rd down and 7.
And that's what you're going to see all afternoon, whether it's a linebacker on a running back, whether it's your corners on the wide receivers. They are going to be in your face. They will challenge every throw that Kerry Collins makes, and one of the things I want to watch as this afternoon progresses is how good is Kerry Collins with his ball placement, because if he's a little bit off, if he's back shoulder, back hip, a little bit high, he's going to give this Green Bay Packer defense, who plays very tight, man-to-man coverage, the opportunity for interceptions.
3 wide receivers, 5 defensive backs, 3rd down and 7. Collins incomplete. He was looking for Bo Scaife. Charles Woodson on the coverage. Titans send out the field goal unit.
You know, looking at Kerry Collins from down here, Moose, the one thing I do like is when he gets back there, he makes his decision and he goes with it. He doesn't give the defensive line a lot of time to go and have opportunities for sacks. The one thing they can't do is get frustrated. They still need to go and rush the passer, but do, you know, get their hands up so they can try and tip some balls.
Goose, here's Rob Baronis out to attempt a 31-yard field goal from the right hash. Attempt by Baronis is good. So the Titans strike first after their defense forced a 3-and-out on the Packers opening possession. Welcome back. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. 3-0 lead for the Tennessee Titans.
And a great start by the offense and their defense. You mentioned the 3-and-out that the Tennessee defense forced, and then their offense comes out and gets points on their opening series.
Will Brockman takes a knee. Packers will start from the 20-yard line. Not much for the Packers offense on their opening drive. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers start from their own 20.
Now you look at the last 3 games that Aaron Rodgers has played, and remember, these were all played with a bad shoulder, especially that Atlanta game.
Packers have 3 men in the backfield, including 2 fullbacks. Off the play fake to Grant, Rodgers steps away from trouble, and the pass is caught, and a 5-yard gain for Corey Hall. One of the 2 fullbacks, Keith Bullock, made the tackle.
And there's Jim Schwartz's biggest concern, Goose, is the mobility of Aaron Rodgers in the pocket. And watch this move on Kyle Vanden Bosch, like a matador in the arena. I mean, not a whole lot. Buys him some extra time, turns it into a positive play. Good down and distance management.
Second down and 5. Donald Lee shifting. Grant out to the 28-yard line as we check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles. Kurt.
And another NFC North, AFC South matchup. Vikings and Texans. Adrian Peterson scores from a yard out, but Gus Frerotte threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown, and they're tied at 7 in the first quarter. Let's send it back to Tennessee and Kenny Albert.
All right, Kurt, the Vikings, 1 game behind the Packers and the Bears in the NFC North. 3rd down and 1. And the Packers move the chains. The fullback, John Kuhn, picks up a first.
We talked about attention to detail by the Tennessee Titans, but on that last play, some attention to detail by the Green Bay Packers. Watch Torrey Humphrey, number 84, your tight end on the wing. Everybody's packed in by the Titans. Give yourself a better angle. Look at him shift in just a little bit. Gives him a much more workable angle against David Thornton. Clears that hole for John Kuhn to get the first down.
Both Green Bay fullbacks productive on this drive.
You got to have them out there. If you can have 2, why not, Goose?
Why not bring 3 and those dress up, get down there.
If they had a third, I'm sure they would. From the 31, Rodgers rolling right. Hits the tight end, Lee. And Lee, with a good second effort, out to the 35-yard line, a gain of 4.
That was a real nice second effort, and it doesn't look like much, but anything positive, and we saw it on the first play of this series with Corey Hall. You know, just a short game, but the biggest thing that the Packers talked about being able to do against this Titans defense was stay ahead of the chains. They can't get into 3rd and long, and there's not a lot of room for error. Mike McCarthy considers 3rd and 7+ not a great position to be in against this Titans defense.
Rodgers on 2nd and 6, handing it off to Grant. Grant turns the corner and picks up a first down. Ryan Grant Turning on the Jets. Grant out to the 47, a gain of 13.
You know, when you look at this run right here, look at these defensive ends, how wide they are outside. They're way out here coming back inside. They go, they do a nice job with the trap inside, and then they bounce it outside. That's not where the Titans want the running backs to go. They want them to stay inside where those big guys inside can go and maul them. If you see them going and get a lot of plays to the outside, they're going to have to make some changes on that defense.
Brandon Jackson in the backfield. First and 10 from the 47-yard line. And this is Jackson out across midfield, the second-year back out of Nebraska into Titans territory, a gain of 4.
And Brandon Jackson, I like the way he's approached everything. He was the guy. A lot was put on his plate last year. He was the first draft pick, a second rounder out of Nebraska. A lot of injuries forced him into some big heavy duty early in the season, a little bit overwhelming. The Packers go out and get Ryan Grant. They add him. He has that breakout year. But I tell you, you watch Brandon Jackson on film, and he got better and better every week last year, and he's playing well again this year. Great positive approach.
Jackson remains in the game. Rodgers can't find anyone downfield, and down he goes.
Well, this defensive line is athletic, Goose. It looked like Aaron Rodgers had an opportunity to kind of make a nice little play here and get some positive yards, but everybody is just moving to the ball. It has got a lot of speed up front.
They stay alive. You know, when they get cut, they're down on the line of scrimmage, they get up. I'll tell you what, Chris Hope did a nice job of staying alive, getting separation from his blocker and coming back and making that play. Or it could have been a huge gain for Green Bay.
First sack of the season for the strong safety. Third down and 6. Rodgers steps up, looking for the chains. Looks to be just short, as Jason Jones, the rookie out of Eastern Michigan, made the tackle from behind.
Aaron Rodgers is showing a lot of confidence that his shoulder is fine. He's pulling it down and running for it. Mike McCarthy rolling the dice here, going for it on 4th down. This Tennessee defense, 2 big 4th down stops that game Monday night against the Colts.
4th and a long one from the Titans 44. Rodgers calls timeout. The Green Bay Packers started this drive on their own 20-yard line, now facing a 4th and a long one in the top.
That's a key part of the game. And you watch the film from the Monday night game, this Titan defense stuffed the run and played great pass defense. So they stopped 4th down plays, both attacks.
I like punt it loose and back them up. I don't like this play at all.
2 tight ends. 4th down and 1. Now Grant split left.
They're just gonna...
Rodgers looking for the rookie tight end out of Texas, Jermichael Finley. Chris Hope, who sacked Rodgers moments ago, got a piece of it. Terrific field position for the Titans. Mike McCarthy going for it on 4th down, and the pass was intended for a rookie who does not have a reception in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, Mike McCarthy talked about not wanting to get into a chess match, and he's been very aggressive to start this game.
Loads of time for Kerry Collins, and his pass is too long, intended for Justin Gage. Al Harris on the coverage.
Now let's go back and take a look at this. Now, Jermichael Finley, he's a rookie. And yeah, let's give everybody an opportunity, but a rookie mistake. He gets out here, he allows the defender to just turn and run to his inside. At some point, he's got to stop and beat him across his face and get back into the middle of the field and give Aaron Rodgers a better angle. Aaron Rodgers actually makes a great throw to the back shoulder, puts it in the only spot that Jermichael Finley is going to have a chance to make that catch, but to make his job easier, release and then get back to the middle of the field.
On 2nd down, the toss to Johnson, who looks to turn the corner but cannot. Brady Bapinga, along with Michael Montgomery, made the tackle. So 3rd and 10 coming up for the Titans.
And you know, Goose, sometimes, you know, the reason a coach goes for it in that situation is because he's got a tremendous amount of confidence in his defense to come out and make a stop and force a punt.
Yeah, but you know what, Moose? The reason why I didn't like it is you had 9 guys on the line of scrimmage. You only had 7 guys who could block. You knew that Aaron was going to have somebody in his face right away, so he was going to have to get the ball out quick. If it was going to be a pass, if it was going to be a run, they had all the gaps covered, so it wasn't good odds. I thought that after they called that timeout, they should have went and punted the ball back.
Collins was hit as he throws, and the pass is nearly intercepted. Nick Barnett with the pressure up the middle on Collins, and now a late flag. Penalty marker back at the 38-yard line.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 51 defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
51, Brady Papinga.
Just a huge mistake by Brady Papinga. We'll see what happens. He's not the guy who gets to the quarterback. It's Nick Barnett. I was wondering if maybe they were going to call driving to the ground, but it's actually Brady Papinga engaged with a tackle on the other side, and that's kind of the baseball rule right there on the short pop fly. Somebody's got to call the other guy off. Al Harris is forward, backing up, so Nick Collins has either got to call him off or we've got to get Al Harris call it.
From the Packers 40. The end around, the toss to Brandon Jones. He breaks a tackle and gains positive yardage. Initially looked like Jones would be tackled in the backfield for a loss, but he broke free and gained 7.
Well, Ryan Pickett did everything right except get Brandon Jones to the ground. You can't play a reverse any better. He just didn't finish it with a tackle. Great effort by Brandon Jones. That's a big man who's got you wrapped up. Showed some good strength.
I think everybody on the field just stopped because they thought that he was tackled, but he ran right through that tackle.
Titans get a reprieve. Looked like they would go 3 and out and be forced to punt, but penalty. And now Johnson takes it down to the 26-yard line. A Titans first down as we check in with Kurt.
Well, for those that think the Ravens have been winning in spite of rookie Joe Flacco, check this play out. Flacco strong arms it. Mark Clayton lays out and gets it. 47 yards on the score, and the Ravens are in control by 4 because Cleveland just scored. It's 10-6 pending the extra point in the first quarter. Ravens on top of the Browns. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. Ravens looking to win their 3rd in a row. Johnson down to the 18-yard line. Michael Montgomery made the tackle. 8 more yards for Chris Johnson.
Al Harris is very physical, but he's got to be smart on the outside. Know that Chris Johnson is in the backfield. Just engage. What a good sell job right there. Releases to the inside like he's going to go in a route. Al Harris is following him to the inside, and then he just kind of engages him and lets Chris Johnson get the corner.
Titans in the red zone. 2nd down and 2. Rondale White, the lone back. This is White.
Colin
Cole lost his helmet.
Yeah, he's crying to the officials that they tore his helmet off there, but no flag on the play.
Trying to sell him on the hands to the face.
Hey, sometimes the best thing you can do is get away with it. One of them offensive guys got away with it on that time, but I'm sure there'll be a rebuttal at some point.
I see nothing.
Titans just short. Justin Harrell is also on the field. Packers first-round pick a year ago, who was activated yesterday from the physically unable to perform list. Packers released their all-time leading sack leader, Kabir Baja-Biamila.
I think that puts a little bit more pressure on Justin. You know, the guys talked about it. Hey, we lost a very good football player, a guy who's been a part of this organization for 9 years. You know, has been a great contributor. So I think that just adds more pressure to Justin Harrell, you know, the former #1 draft pick.
#1 pick out of Tennessee. Third down and 1 for Gary Collins and the Titans. And Lendale White. This time, has a first down.
You think about a short yardage and goal line runner, that they're going to be this running back that just explodes into the hole full speed, try and stop me with everything I've got. And Lendale White is like the complete opposite of that. He's got such a great feel. He has such great patience when he gets the ball. He lets everything develop. When he decides to go, he's got a great feel. You know, gets his shoulders turned. I mean, he's got excellent running ability in short yardage and goal line situations for a young guy.
Chris Johnson back in. The handoff to the fullback, Lamont Hall. White, Johnson, Hall running behind an offensive line that has allowed only 2 sacks this season. Kerry Collins said the offensive line is as responsible for our 7-0 start as any position on the team.
Yeah, I'll challenge any team in the NFL right now to match the lines of this Tennessee Titan team, both offensive and defensive. Very, very good at what they do.
First quarter comes to an end. Titans lead the Packers 3-0. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Tennessee Titans look to keep their perfect season alive. Record of 7-0. Lead the Green Bay Packers 3-0. Second and 7. For the Packers 12. Johnson is into the backfield by Johnny Jolly.
Good job by this Packers defense right now. They've got to hunker down, hold this Tennessee Titan team to just a field goal on this drive. They cannot allow Tennessee to get out to a big lead. You play into their hands. That is the way this team functions. That's why it was so important for the Green Bay Packers to get off to a good start. Try and put Tennessee in an uncomfortable position. If it goes to 10-0 Tennessee, they're right where they want to be.
Collins on 3rd and 9, complete to the tight end Scaife, but he's driven out of bounds. Shy of a first down by 2 yards. So the Titans will send out the field goal unit.
Nice play right there, forcing this field goal, because right now the Packer defense not taking advantage of opportunities. They're allowing Tennessee to convert on some critical 3rd downs. We're going to go back and show you that penalty on Brady Papinga that kept this drive alive and allows this field goal attempt by Rob Baronis.
Baronis hit from 31 earlier. This a 25-yard attempt. Craig Hendrick puts it down from the right hash. Baronis is 2 for 2. So the Titans with field goals on both of their drives lead 6-0.
Green Bay Packer defense forcing field goals but not getting off the field. Kerry Collins on that first drive extends the drive with a little run on 3rd down, but here's the real tough one. Brady Papinga. The Packers almost have an interception, drop it. That was 3rd and 11. They should be walking off the field. Some of them are, but they're coming right back out because Brady lost his cool, cost him 15 yards. The Titans go down and get 3 more points on that drive. So football's an emotional game. It's a physical game, but you got to be smart. When you got a chance to get off the field as a defense, you've got to get off the field.
Picked off by Baronis. Taken out the goal line by Will Blackman. Blackman across the 25, spins across the 30 to the 32. Greg Stevens finally brought him down. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers offense coming up when we return to Nashville. LP Field sold out for the 100th consecutive game. Hometown Titans lead the Packers 6-0. Good starting field position for Green Bay. The toss to Ryan Grant. And Grant fights his way back to the line of scrimmage. Keith Bullock made the tackle.
Again, there's that athleticism of this Titans defensive front. Looks like Ryan Grant's got to the perimeter, has a chance for some positive yards, but boy, these Titans get to the ball quick.
Play clock at 3. 2nd and 10. Grant. Ryan Grant out to the 39-yard line on the draw, gain of 7.
One of the ways that the Green Bay Packers want to attack the Titans in the running game, quick hitting plays or a slower developing draw. Watch this draw play. Doesn't hit as quick as you would think. Let those big aggressive defensive linemen get into their rush lanes a little bit more and then try and slide the ball in.
Aaron Rodgers does a good job of getting deep and then fakes out Javon Curse. Javon Curse gets caught upfield. There's a huge lane for Ryan Grant letting this hit.
Keith Bullock out of the game, 3rd down and 4. Rodgers rolling left. Rodgers throws and the catch is made by Greg Jennings. Jennings inside the 35, the 20, and he's finally whistled down by Finnegan. Inside the 10-yard line, 52 yards from Rodgers to Jennings.
There is the biggest concern that this Tennessee Titan defense had coming into the game. The mobility of Aaron Rodgers that contributes to the big play. Greg Jennings, it's just a simple little curl, but they like the matchup that Greg Jennings presented to this team against anybody.
First and goal, Ryan Grant. Let me ask you this. Bullock was shaken up. He came off. He wears the green dot. Defensive communication. Stephen Tulloch came out late. He's the backup. Do you think something may have happened communications-wise prior to that play?
Well, every team that we've talked to has kind of worked with this communication device for the defense. A lot of the coaches, almost everybody we talk to, still makes signals the old-fashioned way from the side, just in case you've got a situation where your key guy, Keith Bullock, has to go into the locker room with an injury.
But the Titans looked like they were scrambling. First, Ryan Fowler replaced Bullock, and he came off and Tulloch went out. Second and goal. Brandon Jackson, the lone back. Rodgers, corner of the end zone, off the hands of Jermichael Finley.
Well, obviously, the Packers offense has seen something on film where they really like the matchup with Jermichael Finley in this game. That's the second key play that they've gone to the rookie tight end.
Well, he's got the size to go up and get the ball. He's just got to come down with it.
All those little subtleties you learn the longer you're in the league.
Empty backfield, 3rd and goal. Rodgers passes low. So now the Packers forced to send out the field goal unit.
And that's what this Titan defense does. They lead the league in scoring defense. But on this one, if Aaron Rodgers has got a little bit more time, Ruvel Martin is going to come open in the second window on the slant. He's trying to get it to him right there. If he's able to hold it for just another tick, Ruvel Martin is going to pop open into that second window.
23-yard attempt. Mason Crosby from the left hash. The Packers are on the scoreboard. The big play, 52 yards from Rodgers to Jennings. The Titans lead, cut to 3. Packers drive 7 plays, 63 yards. 52 of the 63. The pass from Rodgers to Jennings.
And exactly what this Titans team was worried about against the Packer offense. Aaron Rodgers has the ability to extend the play, but on that one, a great design, a dash. Tony thinks it's something they're going to come back to later in the game.
Crosby's kick taken at the 3 by Carr. Chris Carr, second leading kickoff returner in the NFL. Brings it out across the 30. Aaron Rouse made the tackle. Good starting field position for Kerry Collins and the Titans. Titans with field goals on their first 2 drives. Leading the Packers 6-3. Wendell White. Nick Barnett the tackle, gain of 3. Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Chiefs and Bucks, keep your eye on this one. Direct snap to the running back, Jamal Charles. He gets it to Mark Bradley. Bradley to the quarterback. Tyler Thigpen, wide open, 37-yard score. And look at this, Kansas City putting a whopping on the Bucks. 21-3 in the second quarter. A little trickeration, as they like to say. Kenny?
Wow, Chiefs with only one win this season. Up against the 5-3 Bucks. Second down and 7. Collins with time. Pass intended for Justin Gage.
So far, Kerry Collins has kind of gotten away with his ball placement. It hasn't been perfect right now, but watch right here. Little crossing route, work in the middle of the field, like Tony talked about. Little high. Justin Gage has got to make that catch, because when you play Green Bay, they're so aggressive in the secondary. The tip ball, the ball that's not put in an area where the receiver can get a hold of it easily. Those things can be interceptions going the other way very quickly. Green Bay's taken 5 back for touchdowns already this season.
Collins just 1 for his last 6. Third down and 7. Titans have to get to the 41. And they do not. Nick Collins on the coverage. Justin Gage again, the intended receiver.
Well, the Green Bay Packer defense does a better job taking advantage of that opportunity to get off the field on third down, and here it is. They challenge every single throw. That time, Nick Collins coming up, putting a hit on Justin Gage. Ball's put in a good spot by Kerry Collins. Justin Gage, 2 drops on that series.
Even those defensive linemen are making big adjustments, especially on the run. They're not really getting a lot of penetration right now. They're all playing on the line of scrimmage, which I think you have to do against this Tennessee offensive line.
Titans go 3 and out for the first time. The former Packer, Craig Hendrick, punting for the first time. Angled towards the sideline. Out of bounds. So the Packers will start from their own 30. There's the green dot on Stephen Pollock's helmet. Each team able to designate a backup in case the primary player's equipment malfunctions or he sustains an injury.
And Keith Bullock with a rib injury, his return is questionable. So now Stephen Tulloch controlling the communication from the sideline out there for the Titan defense.
I wonder how many of those stickers they got there on the sideline.
Number 29, Ryan Grant. Grant takes it out to the 35, a gain of 6.
Stephen Tulloch, you know, great to watch his progression. Talk to Keith Bullock about Stephen Tulloch in our meeting on Friday. Knows all 3 linebacker positions. Maybe a guy there who's going to be a backup, play special teams, but he had such a great offseason, translated that into a great preseason, got the starting job this year.
Second down and 4. Rodgers rolling right, directing traffic, and he throws. Greg Jennings was ruled out of bounds. Nick Harper on the coverage.
There's an example of that new rule that the NFL put in. Not talking about force outs anymore. Good job by Nick Harper. Get a good shove. Greg Jennings does not have enough time to get that right foot down. Last season, that might have been ruled a catch.
We've already seen 2 of the new rules come into play in this game. The green dot on the helmet, and no more force outs. Third down and 4. Rodgers steps up, looking for the change. He dives, and he picks up a Green Bay first down.
Just a really good, quick decision by Aaron Rodgers on that. As soon as he steps up, thinking he might have an opportunity to reset and continue through his progression, he realizes that Tennessee's got kind of everything covered and this thing's collapsing quickly. Let me get out of here. A nice job of sneaking a peek out to his left to find out where that yard marker is.
12th rushing first down for Rodgers this season. Among all of the quarterbacks in the NFL, only David Garrard has rushed for more.
There's that mobility that the Titans were worried about.
Grant up the middle. Grant out to the 45-yard line. Setting up second down and 5.
A lot of people around the country that watch football talked about that Giants-Pittsburgh game that was on last week and is one of the more physical games that people had seen all season long. I think that after this game, this one's going to be right up there on this series. This first half has been very physical, very emotional out on that field.
Rodgers on 2nd and 5, complete for a first down to Greg Jennings. Portland Finnegan brings him down, but Jennings gains 7.
Portland Finnegan, one of the up-and-coming cornerbacks in the NFL. He's got a tough job today. He's working against Greg Jennings. You can see right there, it's a nice job in coverage, and then this time Portland is able to get him to the ground. Greg Jennings, one of those wide receivers, you can play good coverage, but if you're not sure with your tackles, he can make you look bad with a big run after the catch.
Catch is made by Jermichael Finley, so the Packers are 1 for 3 today, going to Finley, and finally his first NFL reception.
Oh, there you go, and now that's something that he can build off of. I mean, a big 4th down decision, and it looked like Jermichael Finley was one of the big players, the ball thrown his way. In that situation, they took a jump ball shot at him on a fade on the drive where they got the field goal, so maybe want to start out with that play, give him something nice and easy and positive to get his confidence.
2nd down and 4. The slant is caught. What a spin move by Jordy Nelson. And Nelson is finally tackled by Michael Griffin at the 18-yard line. So the rookie 2nd-round pick out of Kansas State gains 24 yards.
What a great move after the catch. Watch this quick little spin by Jordy Nelson. Nick Harper's playing it really good. He's driving up to make the tackle. Jordy Nelson just able to plant his foot and spin out of that one to get some extra yards.
I'll tell you what, this Tennessee defense is doing a great job of running to the ball, but all those short passes, these guys are getting a little winded. You see a lot of guys rotating, coming out of the game, hitting their targets with their helmets.
On the 18, Rodgers with time, swings it out to Grant. Ryan Grant unable to make the catch. Stephen Tulloch on the coverage.
Boy, he has got some good speed, some good mobility. Stephen Tulloch does, and he's the guy that made the hit on that 4th down run Monday night against the Indianapolis Colts. You watch here, just reading the field, has got his guy. Now watch the close on it right there. Doesn't allow Ryan Grant that second chance.
David Thornton.
Here's another
Grant, loss of 1.
Here's another adjustment by the Packers in their run game to try and be more effective. Donald Lee motions into the backfield. Here he is. He's going to sift through. His job is to get David Thornton. He just doesn't get across his face, doesn't get a good enough piece. His responsibility is backside backer, so they can get the fullback and the offensive line out on the front side and middle backer. But he's got to do a better job. They put him in a position to help facilitate his block, and he still didn't get there.
3 wide receivers set. Donald Driver without a catch today is in the slot. Rodgers takes the handoff to Jackson. There's a penalty marker as Rodgers is pulled down from behind. Another flag. Maybe a horse collar on Curse. Two flags.
Could be a hold on Javon. I think Mark Tosher might have been holding in the beginning.
There were fouls on both teams. Illegal formation, number 65 offense, was not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined by rule. Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 90 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Javon Curse still down on the field. Now you've got a penalty that extends the drive, but the biggest concern has to be that Javon is still on the field. Good hustle getting there, but you can see he's up around. He's got the jersey in his hand, inside the shoulder pad, pulls down. It's all about player safety, and when you're talking about the quarterback, it's even more imperative. So the referees are going to call that one a little bit closer than most.
Titans without 2 defensive starters, Javon Curse and Keith Bullock.
Well, good to see Keith Bullock back out on the sideline. He had gone into the locker room. We'll still see. He doesn't have his helmet in his hand, so we'll see if he can make it back onto the field.
First and goal from the 9 following the horse collar penalty called on Curse as Ryan Grant works his way inside the Titans' 5-yard line.
Nice job by Ryan Grant, just kind of getting in behind everybody, keeping those legs turning, not getting too far forward so you fall on your own. But what looked to be a short gain turns out to be a decent game. Watch him right here. Get in there, get down, just keep pushing that pile, keep those legs churning.
coverage.
Well, we've had a couple of breakdowns in communication with Aaron Rodgers and Greg Jennings. We had one on the opening drive when Greg Jennings went deep and Aaron Rodgers threw short. Here, slow play. All right, I'm going to block you. And the ball was coming my way. What's going on?
All the offensive linemen thought it was going to be a run play. They were firing out. I'm surprised they didn't get charged with a legal man downfield. Some of the offensive linemen were down in them secondary guys.
Everybody got it but Greg.
Rodgers on 3rd and goal to the end zone. Touchdown, Donald Driver.
The Tennessee Titans did a nice job against the Indianapolis Colts receivers on Monday night. You talked about Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, Anthony Gonzalez, Dallas Clark, what they can throw at you. But this group really felt that the wide receivers for the Green Bay Packers, top to bottom, were going to be the most difficult wide receiver group they'd faced to date.
Driver's 3rd touchdown of the season, and with that catch, he ties Sterling Sharp's franchise record of reception in 103 consecutive games.
You watch the defense, they're running a stunt, these two guys and these two guys. That leaves the middle of the field wide open for Aaron Rodgers to find Donald Driver. There's the lane right there. A lot of times you don't want to run stunts down on the line, going in towards the end zone because it opens up those passing lanes like we saw right there.
But when you can put 4 guys across the board, and that's why we see this 4 wide receiver set, and this afternoon James Jones is inactive, or they'll go 5 at times. But when you talk about Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, Ruvel Martin, who in my opinion is a wide receiver for the Packers, and we have not seen his greatest days yet. He is a big physical guy, and talk to Aaron Rodgers about him. When is he going to find his place in this wide receiver group? And then Jordy Nelson, you know, their first pick this year, second round pick out of Kansas State. They have got a very, very strong wide receiver group. You get down into that red zone, spread those 4 guys across the formation. That's a tough challenge for this Titans secondary.
A lot of options for Aaron Rodgers, I'll tell you that.
Nelson with a huge play during that drive, a 24-yard reception. We talked about the Papinga penalty earlier, which extended a Titans drive. The Javon Curse horsecollar extended that drive and gave the Packers a first down as Carr takes it out to the 26 before he was tackled by John Kuhn. Well, Kerry Collins in his 14th pro season played in 2 NFC Championship games, including 1 against Green Bay as a member of the Carolina Panthers. Goose, you remember Super Bowl 35 going up against Kerry Collins and the Giants. He has helped lead the Titans to 6 consecutive victories after replacing Vince Young.
That's, you know, Kerry Collins, we were in that Super Bowl. He came out and tried to throw downfield. We just had a secondary that, you know, was unbelievable.
Collins pass, Goose batted down there by Aaron Campman.
But he could definitely get it done. The week before in the NFC Championship game against Minnesota, he put a lot of points up on the board to get him into that Super Bowl.
Well, you know, the big thing, Tony, we've had a lot of discussions about Brad Johnson down in Dallas. We've done their games the last 2 weeks. The pregame show talking about it again earlier today. You know, Kerry Collins brings that experience, brings that maturity, but also continues to have the ability to get the ball down the field for this Titan offense while he fills in for Vince Young.
Kerry also 5 years younger than Brad Johnson. How about Lendell White? This is not Chris Johnson, it's Lendell White who takes it inside the Green Bay 20-yard line, a 54-yard pickup.
That zone blocking up front, if you get a defensive lineman who doesn't go and follow with everybody else, you're going to have a hole, and that's exactly what could happen right there.
You know, Atari Bigby is very athletic. He's number 20 in the Packers secondary. I want you to watch Lendell White run away from him right here. Now, look at how big Lendell is. You know, you're like, I got this guy. He's in my sights. Wait a minute. He's pulling away from me right now. I mean, there's your big short yardage goal line runner showing a nice little burst down the sideline.
He did have an 80-yard run earlier this season. Collins' pass is caught. Nice catch And taken all the way down to the 3 by Johnson. Pass was a bit behind Chris, but he was able to make an adjustment and make the catch.
A great concentration by Chris Johnson. The ball a little bit behind him, but also does a good job avoiding the umpire right in the middle of all that nonsense. He gets out, gets the release, here comes the ball, back shoulder, skirts around the umpire. Now when he gets the ball in his hands with that breakaway speed. Whew.
We talked about that earlier with Kerry Collins. Needs to do is sort of little short passes. If you get a guy like that in the open field, they're going to go and make big plays like we just saw.
And first and goal from the 3, Johnson takes it in for his 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
Not fair, is it, Moose? Lindell should have got the carry to get it in. He brought him all the way down there.
They were too far out, Tony, there on the 3, not the 1.
Oh, was he still on the sideline getting oxygen?
Yeah, unfortunately, we got Eugene Amano down right now, Goose, the left guard for the Titans. One of the key guys in that offensive line, but we'll break for a commercial, come back, try and we can get some information about Eugene Amano.
Chris Johnson, the first-round draft pick out of East Carolina, led the NCAA in all-purpose yards last season. With the touchdown, Eugene Amano, the left guard, shaken up on the play. Rob Baronis, the extra point. Packers lead lasted only 65 seconds.
Great response by this Tennessee Titan offense after the Packers took the lead. First big play, Lendale White, their short yardage goal line specialist, breaks off a 50-plus yarder, gets him down there. While he's on the sideline getting a little bit of oxygen, Chris Johnson comes in, gets a nice little catch, uses the umpire as a screen, breaks away, gets it down inside the 5-yard line. And then the good news, Chris Johnson gets it in for the touchdown. The bad news, that pile kind of rolled up on Eugene Amano a little bit. They're checking his knee on the sideline right now. When we looked at it, it looks as though he was turned in a way where it didn't come down on the outside where you talk about that medial collateral ligament. It looked as though it was more on the back of his legs. He was able to walk off the field, so hopefully one of those things that just kind of scares you a little bit, Goose, when that pile shifts.
Yeah, it's never good when guys fall on your legs, man. Ankles, knees. Big guys don't like that stuff.
News aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Now get over 130 of your favorite channels in HD. 74-yard drive for the Titans guys. Lendale White, Chris Johnson combined for all 74. Amano attempting to walk it off. Titans lead is 13-10. From the goal line, it's Jordy Nelson. Penalty flag. Nelson down the sidelines. Out of bounds after he crossed the 40.
I think the Packers are going to get 5 more yards because the Titans ran some guys pre-kick, but you can't overload. You can't put 6 to a side. So one of the guys got a little bit too far.
Offside. Number 57 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty being forced from the end of the run. First down.
Josh Stamer.
You know, one of those overload situations. Again, one of the new rules, you watch them run, but you still got to stay balanced. They cross all the way over.
Looks like Rob Baronis, the kicker, took a little bit of a hitch kick, too, that might have messed up their timing there to get to the line of scrimmage. It's always the kicker's moves. Whenever you can blame it on somebody.
Absolutely.
Blame it on the kicker.
Goose, best starting field position of the day for the Packers. From their own 45-yard line. Rodgers steps up, fires downfield, just out of the reach of Jennings.
Greg Jennings didn't know the ball was coming to him. He slowed down there right before the ball got to him. If he would have kept running, he would have been able to catch that ball.
We've also got a change for the Packers at left tackle. Chad Clifton's out with kick Darren College out to left tackle, a little shakeup in their lineup. There it is, Goose, just outstretched past the fingertips, so just that little hesitation.
Yeah, I don't think he knew he was getting the ball. It's looking right at his eyes, Moose.
Pass is caught by Nelson, and Jordy Nelson has a Green Bay first down. Jason Spitz moved over to the left side, to left guard, and Josh Sitton in the game at right guard. With Clifton on the sidelines.
Keith Bullock back in the lineup. Good to see him back out there. Went in, got the ribs checked out. Return questionable. So good to have him back on the field.
That is great, Doc. Rodgers complete to the fullback John Kuhn, and it's Bullock who makes the tackle after a gain of just 2.
And we'll see if how long Keith's able to stay out on the field. That's not Keith Bullock right there. You get a running back out into the flat exposed with a back shoulder catch. Keith Bullock's usually going to come up and just put a big hit on you.
We have hit the 2-minute warning here in Nashville. Packers on the move, trailing by 3. Entertaining first half here in Nashville. Titans lead by 3. Rodgers on 2nd and 8, dumps it off to Jackson. Penalty marker as Brandon Jackson is tackled at the 39-yard line.
Holding, number 71 offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
That's on Sitton, the rookie out of Central Florida, who was in due to the injury suffered by Chad Clifton.
I like the composure of Aaron Rodgers in the pocket right now. I mean, there's always going to be pressure with this tightened defensive front. They're very, very good. Don't have to blitz a lot. Those down 4 can get the pressure on the quarterback. But Aaron Rodgers is doing a good job of just kind of moving a little bit, giving himself a little bit of extra time to get that ball thrown. Not panicking.
2nd down at 18. Rodgers, shovel pass, Jackson. Jackson down to the Titans 43, so on 2nd and 18, Jackson gains 10.
Nice play call by Mike McCarthy there, a little bit conservative, gets you into a more manageable 3rd down situation. Again, we talked about 3rd and 7 being his cutoff just a little bit outside that, but a good play call on 2nd down to give you a shot at 3rd and 8.
3 wide receivers, Driver in the slot. Packers must get to the 35 for a first down. And they do not, as Donald Lee is wrapped up 4 yards shy of the marker by Stephen Tulloch.
Well, you wonder, even with that play call, if Mike McCarthy was playing this as 4 downs the entire time. I mean, because a very, very strange throw by Aaron Rodgers in that situation. I mean, not even really close to giving an opportunity for a catch and run on the first.
Even the defensive backs were shocked that he threw that underneath pass like that.
Packers could not convert earlier on 4th and 1. Half-minute remaining, 2nd quarter. Rodgers on 4th down, intended for Jennings. It's intercepted by Finnegan. Now it's ruled an incomplete pass, but it doesn't matter because the Titans will take over on downs.
Cortland Finnegan plays it as well as you can. You know, he doesn't let Greg Jennings get in there. I mean, Aaron Rodgers puts it really the only place you possibly could. He's going to force Greg Jennings to go down and make a great catch, but Cortland Finnegan isn't even going to let that happen. Boy, you can't play that slant any better than he did on that play.
Cortland Finnegan's getting Jennings' timing down right now. I'll tell you what, Moose, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and picks one in the 2nd half. He has him down to the T right now.
Well, you know, they all talked about these corners being physical guys that kind of jump routes, so you wonder, are they setting him up for a slant and go at some point in the second half?
3 seconds added to the game clock. Titans have all 3 of their timeouts. As Collins sets up the screen, hits Johnson. Tackled by E.J. Hawk. Kept him in bounds. And now the Titans will use their first timeout as Johnson gains 7 out to the 46. 10 seconds remaining, second quarter. Our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues following the Packers and the Titans as the defending Super Bowl champion New York Giants host the Dallas Cowboys. Coming up, game 2 of our Fox doubleheader, Giants and the Cowboys. And the Visa halftime report is coming up. Kirk, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy with scores and highlights. And the Fox Sports Ticker will bring you all the latest stats. That's coming up on the Visa halftime report.
Well, the Giants get their first shot at the Cowboys. Like that rivalry needed any more fuel to the fire. The Giants not too happy that the Cowboys selected for Hard Knocks on HBO this year as the defending champions. So they were vocal about it then. They get their first crack.
Second down at 3. Near side, what a catch. Brandon Jones makes an acrobatic catch at the Packers 49, 6 seconds remaining.
Boy, he made that look easy.
I look like Velcro on those hands.
Wow. So how do you think Tom Coughlin would have reacted to cameras everywhere during training camp?
Well, yeah, I'm sure even if they would have come to the Giants to do that, there was no way that that was going to happen. But, I mean, that is a great rivalry to begin with, and it's just more has been added to it as this season progressed. Dallas limps into Giant Stadium. That's going to be a great one. Looking forward to that game later today.
Collins to the sidelines. Well, Hawkins, the rookie out of Cal.
That's still a hefty field goal for Rob Baronis.
Line of scrimmage is the 45. Baronis started out onto the field. It would be about a 63-yard attempt. Career long for Baronis is 60. The NFL record is 63. Tom Dempsey and Jason Elam. Titans use their second timeout.
Let's take this opportunity right here to get to learn a little bit about this Tennessee Titans team, supposedly under the radar. You see right there, Tony talked about a great offensive line, only 2 sacks this year. Also great at blocking for their running back. There's the big thing, scoring defense. Kind of a wide margin between first and second place there, and they are great at taking the football away. They do all the little things right. They don't beat themselves. They're not a highly penalized team. They play a certain style, not flashy, not glamorous, but very effective.
This will be a 63-yard attempt. Again, Tom Dempsey, Jason Elam, the NFL record holders, with field goals from 63 yards away. Packers have a deep man back. The snap goes to the holder Hendrick. He takes an E. So the Titans do not want to take a chance as the Packers sent Tramon Williams deep to the goal line.
Well, with that kind of kick, it's going to come out low. He could be blocked heading the other way real quick.
We've seen some big returns the last few years. The Visa halftime report is next. Jeff Fisher's Tennessee Titans with a 3-point lead over the Green Bay Packers. First half numbers pretty even. Packers have a 5-minute edge in time of possession as we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Kenny Albert along with Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa downstairs. Did the first half develop about as you expected?
It did. You know, the one thing that was good, you saw it on the halftime stats, the 50-plus yard plays. Green Bay with one, well, actually a little bit behind schedule, but Tennessee matched it with one of their own. The big question I had coming into this game, how do they respond really emotionally after that big divisional win against Indianapolis Monday night? They came out, they actually took the field, kind of took control of the game. Green Bay got back into it, but they had a great response on that touchdown drive when they did get their 50-plus yard play with Lendell White on a big run, and then Chris Johnson finishing it up with a touchdown.
Well, Mike McCarthy's Packers trail by 3 as we begin the second half. Here's Crosby's kickoff. Taken on the run of the 8 by Carr. Carr makes the cut to his right. And is brought down at the 25-yard line.
The big thing is it's still going to be down in the trenches, and everybody talked about that Giants-Pittsburgh game last week on Fox as one of the more physical games of the season up to this point. I think that one could be the same. And Goose, it's all going to be that offensive and defensive line tangling up down there in the trenches.
Absolutely, Moose. Right now, Tennessee's exactly where they want to be. They're in a close game. It's a brawl down on the line of scrimmage. I think the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans is doing exactly what they need to do. They're wearing down the defensive line for the Green Bay Packers. Kerry Collins throwing short passes. That defensive line is running. They're tiring out. I see them doing a lot of exchanges on the sideline. We'll see what happens in the second half.
Chris Johnson wrapped up by A.J. Hawk after gaining 4. Out to the 29-yard line. Johnson with 70 total yards in the first half, 21 on the ground. 3 receptions, 49 yards. Lendell White, as Darryl mentioned, had the big 54-yard run. Flash and smash, smash and dash, whatever you want to call them. They've done a very effective job for the Titans this season. Off the play fake. Collins steps up. Down he goes. But there is a flag. Collins taken down back at the 27-yard line, a loss of 2.
Holding number 54 offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Well, you don't see them very often. That's the 3rd sack of the year off this offensive line.
And the first Goose in the last 6 games.
Green Bay brought a little bit of pressure on that one, Goose. You had A.J. Hawk and Nick Barnett coming, and both of these defenses really rely on the front 4 to generate their pressure. But in that situation, the Green Bay Packers send in 2 linebackers to help out.
Ryan Pickett with only the 3rd sack of the season against the Titans offensive line. 3rd down at 9. Collins gets rid of it, and the catch is made at the 41-yard line for a first down by Justin McCarrons. A 15-yard pass play, and for McCarrons, his first catch today.
Well, this is a great job by Kerry Collins. Watch Justin McCarrons the whole time. There goes Charles Woodson. There goes Nick Collins. Nobody picks him up. They turn him free right to the secondary. Kerry Collins is able to find him. I don't know if Atari Bigby was supposed to get up there and be there sooner, but you saw the 2 defensive backs go through on the blitz. Justin McCarrons kind of geared it down into the middle of the field again, Goose, that area they wanted to try to exploit.
Only the 3rd reception for a Titans wideout today. Off the play fake. Collins in trouble. Down he goes. Michael Montgomery's only 2 sacks all season, and now 2 on the last 3 plays.
Well, both of them against the guy that is going up against Eugene Amano. You wonder, remember now, he went down in that first half and was out for a couple of plays. He's going to be your guard right here. Just gets beat real quick by Michael Montgomery. Then his running back doesn't help him out a whole lot. He goes to release through and actually bumps him. So maybe more of that, but I was kind of worried at first that maybe that knee's bothering him a little bit more, but actually I think Chris Johnson might have been responsible for that sack because he picked his offensive lineman.
First sack of the season for Montgomery. Loss of 7, 2nd down at 17. Titans keep on the ground with Johnson. Johnson brought down at the 36-yard line by Colin Cole.
It seems like the Packers have taken the field here in the second half, Goose, with a little bit more emotion than the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, it really does. You know, I thought they were wore down after watching the first half, but you know, looking at this series, those 2 sacks and the pressure they're putting on them, and you know, with one thing I do see that whole defensive line, as you saw in that last play, that run, they're all coming down the line of scrimmage and they're staying in the line. They're almost making like a wall of players where there's nowhere to run, and that's something they weren't doing in the first half.
3rd down at 15. Collins looking for McCarrons. So a terrific job by the Packers defense. They sacked Collins twice on the opening possession of the second half.
And you talk about the MO of this Titans offense, and you know, we showed the graphic about getting to know the Titans. You know, they only give up 2 sacks, you know, the entire season up until this point, and Green Bay comes out and gets 2 in this first series here to start the second half. You're like, wait, what's going on? And that offense needs to get over to the sideline. Let's take a look at the pitchers and figure out what Green Bay's doing. Are they doing something different to start the second half?
Hendrick punting from his own 25. Taken on the run by Blackman. Good coverage downfield.
Not a lot of yards on the return by Will Blackman, but a great job of hustling up there to make the catch. Not let that ball hit the ground and bounce.
Here in Nashville this afternoon, aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Packers start from their own 30, trailing by 3. Two fullbacks in the game. Leading the way for Ryan Grant. Grant leading forward, gain of 2, out to the 32. Titans do not have Kyle Vanden Bosch on the field. He did not play last week, played only 3 plays the week before due to the groin injury, and Vanden Bosch on the sideline.
And Goose, you know, for a guy that does what Kyle Vanden Bosch does, a groin injury is probably one of the worst injuries he can have if you're fighting through.
I'll tell you what, it's something it doesn't take 2 weeks to come back from either. I was really surprised to see him out on the field today, and hopefully he gets better. The coaches do say there's nobody on the team or on the earth that feels faster than that guy right there.
Rodgers being chased, dumps it off, caught by Jackson. A couple of nice moves by Brandon Jackson, and he picks up a Packers first down out to the 43.
Keith Bullock is just gutting it out there right now. He was the second guy to come in and get a hit on Brandon Jackson and kind of stayed down. So you wonder how long he's going to be able to make it here in the second half. But again, there's some of that mobility that the Titans were concerned about, and you know how he talked about it at halftime. You know, is it some of it designed in there, or is this just Aaron Rodgers ad-libbing on that one? I think there's a little bit of ad-lib, but we have seen some dashes, we have seen some bootlegs where they've incorporated moving the pocket against this Tennessee front.
Jackson picked up 12. Now it's Grant into Titans territory. Ryan Grant, another Green Bay first down to the Tennessee 43. Gain of 15.
Just the ability to extend that play a little bit, whether it's a little slide right there, buying yourself a little bit of time, and then making the quick decisions. A couple of times he's made the quick decisions. And here's a play that Tony thinks we're going to get to see again here in the second half because of what Tennessee does with their defensive line. But he's done a little bit of everything today to keep that Tennessee defensive front off their toes.
Tell you what, if you can gain a half a second, it's the difference between an incomplete and a reception move.
The slant to Driver, who gains 8. Rodgers was somewhat of an unknown coming into this season. Did have the good game against Dallas last year, but sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years. Are you guys surprised at all at how quickly he's come along? He obviously had 3 years to learn the system, but he's played very well.
Not at all. Not at all, because of how he played in that Dallas game. I thought he played better than Brett Favre started that game. I know Brett wasn't in there very long, but I thought Aaron Rodgers gave them a legitimate shot to win that game. The way Brett started that game against the Cowboys, it was going to be a long night.
Second down and 2. Rodgers with loads of time, firing downfield. It is intercepted in the end zone by Chris Hope.
I think Aaron Rodgers thought that he had man-to-man coverage on the outside. Don't think he saw that safety right there.
Hope had 2 picks against the Colts on Monday night. His 3rd of the season today. Only the 5th interception thrown by Aaron Rodgers all season. First in his last 89 pass attempts.
Well, Mike McCarthy will call an aggressive game, but it's up to Aaron Rodgers to know when it is time to take a shot. It may be time to check it down on that one. No reason to throw that deep ball.
And off to Chris Johnson on first down, and he's bottled up into the backfield.
With Chris Hope in on that inside there, Moose, the only way, if he was going to throw it, the only place he should have thrown it to was to the outside, away from the safety, and let him go and fight for it.
Well, you had the right play call, Tony, against the defense you're looking for. You got 2 guys on verticals, and you've got Chris Hope playing center field. There was no pump to move him to one side or the other. And like you said, he got it into the middle of the field instead of the outside where Greg Jennings could have made a play on it.
Collins looking to set up the screen on 2nd and 10.
I know Kerry Collins is playing a really conservative game, Moose, and this is what they like to do with him. But at some point, I think, I'd like to see them throw a ball downfield, a little bit of a deep threat to try and draw those safeties back a little bit. We're seeing so many dinks and dunks in there that those safeties are coming up on everything and making plays, so they're only 2 and 3 yard gains.
Well, until they do something like that, this Green Bay Packers defense, they're going to be watching for the screen. They're going to be watching for checkdowns. We've really only seen 2 balls thrown down the field to test this Packers secondary.
Play clock at 2. Titans just get the snap off. Collins complete, goes Scaife, but a terrific tackle by Brandon Chiller to keep Scaife from picking up a first down.
And Brandon Chiller is going to get a few more opportunities this afternoon because he's a little bit better in coverage than A.J. Hawk. One of the guys they're worried about underneath is Bo Scaife. He leads the team in receptions. He's an outlet on 3rd down, extends these drives. Brandon Chiller in great position to make a tackle short of the first down line.
So the Titans unable to capitalize on the Green Bay turnover. The first turnover of this game. Blackman takes a hard hit at the 37-yard line. But again, did a nice job fielding the punt, not letting it bounce, as you pointed out earlier.
Yeah, but put the hand up. My goodness. That guy has no fear, Goose. I mean, he is coming on a dead run on a short punt.
Now there is a flag. Flag at the 45-yard line.
You gotta be kidding me.
Holding, number 57 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Eric King with the hit and the tackle. Jason Hunter, the hold.
Just one of many of the hits like that this afternoon. This has been a physical game.
Ryan Brent on first down, gains 4. Out to the 31, tackled by Chris Hope, who picked off the Aaron Rodgers pass moments ago, but the Titans went 3 and out, so now the Packers with another chance. 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Just need to be a little bit smarter with the ball, and I think Aaron Rodgers would love to have that throw back. Mike McCarthy gives him the opportunity to take the shots down the field. You mentioned that's only his 5th interception. He does a good job making those decisions, but that was not a good one on the last series. And the Packers have built some momentum on that drive.
Rodgers on 2nd and 6. Uncharacteristically dropped by Donald Driver.
You're in the middle of the field. You know you're going to have people coming around to make a play. See how Donald Driver's eyes, no, just a little bit back shoulder. He needed to shut it down a half a step sooner. Aaron Rodgers thought he was going to shut it down in that hole. He went about another step and a half past that.
3rd down and 6. Packers have to get to the 37. Ball comes loose on the sack of Rodgers, and it's recovered by the Titans. Jacob Ford with the sack. Rodgers coughed it up, recovered by Stephen Tulloch.
Well, they gave you a look like they were going to only rush 3, and then they added 2 people to the ends. They pull Albert Hainsworth from the inside out. Here comes Jacob Ford up the middle, knocks that ball loose.
That's an intimidation sack. Albert Hainsworth dropping that in the middle of the field. You see him down here. Nowhere to go with the ball. Ford goes and makes a tackle. Didn't even know the ball was out. He's going to scoop that up himself.
Turnovers on the last 2 possessions by the Green Bay Packers. Johnson tackled by Montgomery, no gain. Penalty marker.
No foul on the play for a blow to the head. No foul.
It wasn't a quarterback. It's okay to hit everybody else in the head.
It was only a lineman. Don't worry about him. You smack him in the head all day.
So Bill Levy picks up the flag.
That is so wrong.
Isn't it, man?
That is so wrong. Sorry, guys. That was one of the real football players out there.
Gonna see flags out there pretty soon, hanging out, guys.
After the non-flag, 2nd and 10, off the hands of the fullback Hall, Brandon Chiller on the coverage.
He's doing what he's been asked to do in this defense this afternoon. You've got a lot of underneath routes that are going to come at you. And in certain personnel groups, they want to get Brandon Chiller in place of A.J. Hawk because of his coverage skills. This would be a great job by this defense in a sudden change situation, Goose.
If you can hold somebody to 3 in a situation like this, that's a plus. You get nothing, and that's unbelievable.
The quick to go, Scaife. Scaife to the 7-yard line.
Great awareness of where the sticks are. Bo Scaife went and reached out. I think he's got that first, guys.
He does, Goose.
Not only knowing where the sticks are, but knowing where your defender is. Look how quick he gets out to the flat. He's got Brandon Chiller beat immediately. Don't know why Brandon got caught up inside. We've just been talking about what his role is on the defense, and he is out-leveraged by Bo Scaife in the first 2 steps.
Well, you said it. Here comes A.J. Hawk back in. They're going to try him maybe to cover a little bit.
McCarron's in motion. First and goal from the 7. Chris Johnson. Johnson down to the 3-yard line, a gain of 4.
He's a tough guy. I mean, you think about a guy, and the one thing that he gets recognized about, he's the fastest guy at the combine. 4.24 on the 40, which is just unbelievable. But you watch him on film when he runs, he's not just an edge runner. He is very good between the tackles, and he's a tough guy. I mean, he finishes his runs. So he's not just about speed.
There's great balance, too. Nick Barnett came up and whacked him. He stayed on his feet to get another yard.
2nd and goal, 3. Johnson again. Barnett came flying over the top.
Well, Ryan Pickett is off to a great start in this 2nd half. You know, this Green Bay Packer defense, Goose, you mentioned the fact, you know, they're getting a decent rotation now with some of those guys back in the lineup after that bye week. They're hanging in there against this Titan offensive line.
Yeah, Pickett, Jolly, I'll tell you what, all those big guys inside are really doing a great job of running the ball.
Now 3rd and goal from the 4. Collins to the end zone. Chiller. Oh, that made the play. No flag. Scaife, the intended receiver.
Guys, that was 10 feet from that play. That should have been a flag in my eyes. He was all over, wasn't even looking back at the ball.
Throw it, Goose. Reach in the pocket, see if you got anything in there.
Wow. Can't believe they got away with this one.
Now the fans react as they had a look at the replay on the video board. Harry Collins wanted a flag, but instead a 22-yard attempt. Baronis hit from 31 and 25 earlier. From the right hash, Hendrick placed it down. Baronis is 3 for 3, but the Titans are held to 3, and their lead is 6. Brandon Chiller fortunate that he was not flagged.
Yeah, I think, Goose, you're exactly right on this one. He does get there a good step early.
Well, he never gets his head around either, and he's on the guy before the ball got there.
Mike Heimerdinger saying he's trying to tackle him. Look at he's wrapping him up before the ball's even there.
Heimerdinger was screaming. I heard him here in the end zone, 50 yards away. He was going nuts.
Packers will start from the 20. They've turned the ball over on their last 2 possessions. Coming up, game 2 of our Fox doubleheader. Many of you will see the New York Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles visit the Seahawks, and the Falcons are in Oakland. It's coming up following the Packers and the Titans. Tennessee leading 16-10. Green Bay starting from their own 20. Off the play fake. Rodgers' pass is caught for a first down by Greg Jennings at the 40-yard line, a gain of 20.
What a nice design play. You've got the defense going everywhere. You're showing run action out to your right, then you pull back. Watch this route combination on the backside. Donald Driver clearing it through the middle. Greg Jennings breaking it across. What a throw by Aaron Rodgers right there. Well-executed play, well-designed play.
Aaron Rodgers very patient on that also, Moose. Just took his time, waited, knew when the break was going to come. Great delivery, too.
Third catch of the day for Jennings. First and 10 from the 40. The late handoff to Grant. And Ryan Grant picks up 5 out to the 45 as we send it west to Los Angeles. And Kurt.
Bears and Lions. Rex Grossman in for the injured Kyle Orton. Hooks up with Rasheed Davis on a 6-yard score. Bears get closer. It's 23-20 in the third. And in case you guys hadn't heard, Orton injured his ankle, not expected to return to this game. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Bears tied with Green Bay atop the NFC North. Lions looking for their first win. Second and 5. Grant loses a yard.
I tell you, Goose, I don't know if you can single block Albert Haynesworth.
You can't.
You gotta give your guys help.
I mean, he is just a beast. He gets such great extension on one guy. Watch him right here. He goes, gets his arms locked out, boom, sees the back. The great thing about it is when he gets that extension, his eyes are never on the blocker. They're always in the backfield watching where the ball is. He plays everything by feel and has great awareness of where the ball is going. A smart guy right there. Not just a big, powerful guy, but very smart.
Rodgers on 3rd and 6. Laying it in for Donald Driver. Aaron Rodgers showing a great touch. Nice soft touch, and Driver gains 45 yards.
Well, as Vincent Fuller got up, he knew that it was on him. We'll take a look back and see what happened. See if Donald Driver just shook him loose with a great route. Donald Driver in the slot. Oh, there you go. Hey, Goose, remember the first half we talked about slants?
Trying to bite on that little slant.
These guys, they watch formation. They know what kind of route combinations come out. They're aggressive and they'll jump it. We saw a lot of slants in the first half. There's your slant and go.
You called it too, Moose. You said it's coming.
Now the slant intended for Jennings. Nick Harper on the coverage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
We got a couple times with guys going after it a little bit there. I think we had Corey Hall and Keith Bullock going after it. I've watched Greg Jennings and Cortland Finnegan duking it out. This is a very physical, tough game. I mean, two teams, very similar styles.
And nobody's backing down either.
Nobody.
Second and 10 from the 12. Off the play fake. Rodgers in trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 21-yard line, Dave Ball with the pressure. Loss of 8.
Yeah, you see Aaron Rodgers, he's looking back at the Jumbotron, trying to see what happened right there. He's just a second late getting out of this. The pocket starts to collapse. He waits a little bit too long, gets tripped up by his own guys.
We talked about the width of both of those defensive ends, and they're cocked in, and they just pick a point, and it takes such a long time for those offensive tackles to get back to them that they really can't get their feet set. And that's exactly what's happening. That pocket is closing, and Aaron Rodgers is feeling like he has to escape, and there's nowhere to go.
Play clock at 3. Rodgers on 3rd and 18 to Donald Lee, the screen, and Lee takes it down to the 6-yard line, but 3 yards shy of the marker.
That looked like something from a rugby game.
So the Packers, following the sack, the loss of 8, unable to pick up the first down. And Mason Crosby, who connected from 23 back in the second quarter, now to attempt a 26-yard field goal. Packers back to within 3. with 11 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's a 3-point Titans lead, and Howie talked during the halftime show, Darryl, about the fact that the Titans are used to playing in these close games. In fact, Tennessee has trailed in the third quarter 2 of their last 3 games.
This is what they're built for. It's about running the football, controlling the clock, playing great defense, not allowing touchdowns, holding teams to field goals. So you get in a lot of tight games in the fourth quarter. This is exactly where Tennessee feels comfortable. Now, what Green Bay wanted to do coming into the game, which every team would love to do, especially against a team like Tennessee, is jump out early, get a lead, take them out of their comfort zone. Tennessee always does a nice job of being able to have their game plan and how they move forward during the course of that game, of staying in their comfort zone, because they don't have penalties, they don't turn the ball over, they don't put themselves in bad positions. So you get a lot of situations like this. Tennessee 16, Green Bay 13, 11 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Titans coming off a short week. Monday night win here at home over the Colts. Packers have had 2 weeks to prepare.
The big thing for Tennessee on that short week is they didn't have to travel. They didn't have to travel back from the Monday night game. They didn't have to travel to play on Sunday. So they had them both here on their home field. But, you know, the big thing, I think they've really answered that challenge of how are they going to handle the success from kind of knocking off the Indianapolis Colts, who controlled the AFC South for the last 5 years. You know, they've got a 4-game lead in that division. They've come out and played with a lot of emotion today, knowing that the Packers were a tough team from the National Football Conference.
Chris Carr on the return. Brought down at the 22. Colts will be in action tonight against the New England Patriots. Titans 7-0. Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Houston all tied at 3-4.
Moose, I want to know what you think about the Giants-Cowboys game coming up after this.
You know what, Goose, you know, there's been a lot of talk about what's going to happen with Brooks Bollinger. Is he going to play today? Are they going to stay with Brad Johnson? You know, watching the Giants last week against Pittsburgh get 5 sacks, you know, if Brad's mobility is down and you turn it into a dink-and-dunk game, I don't think the Cowboys can win. I think they've got to make a change at quarterback.
I think we're definitely going to see Brooks.
Chris Johnson. You guys both brought up the possibility of Brooks Bollinger replacing Brad Johnson when we worked the Cowboys game, the win over Tampa Bay last Sunday. 3 quarters in the books here in Nashville. It's the Titans leading the Packers by 3. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. We start the fourth quarter here in Nashville. Wendell White out to the 32-yard line. Michael Montgomery made the tackle. Titans have been strong in the fourth quarter of games all season.
Unbelievable. I mean, look where they rank in the NFL in some of these key categories. And, you know, you talk about a team that pushes it into the fourth quarter. Well, that's fine. You know, you're going to have a lot of tight games. But when you play your fourth quarter like that, yeah, that's why you're 7-0.
Turnover margin +7.
I'll give you guys the opposing point of view. The Packers have scored the most points, 76, in the fourth quarter this season.
And the only team ahead of them in turnover margin is the Green Bay Packers.
3-point Titans lead as Collins fires, deflected, nearly picked off.
Well, we have had a couple of those today for the Packers. And they lead the league in interceptions with 13. They've had an opportunity for a couple of more here this afternoon with several guys around. They gotta get a baseball coach to come in and just get the meat call. Mine, mine, mine. I mean, Nick Collins is probably going to the house. Michael Montgomery dropping back in a little zone blitz scheme and going for his interception as a defensive lineman.
Four wide receivers set. 2nd and 10. Keep it on the ground with Johnson. Johnson across the 40 to the 41. 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Titans. Early fourth quarter. Each team with 1 touchdown of the game.
3rd and 2.
It's another luxury with having an offensive line like Tennessee's does. You can come out and be aggressive on 1st down and take a shot down the field, have an incomplete pass and be 2nd and 10. Turn around and hand the ball off and get 8 yards. Put yourself in a 3rd and 2.
Collins to the air on 3rd down. receiver, no flags. Charles Woodson on the coverage.
They challenge every single throw. Very rarely is one of your receivers running free in the Green Bay secondary. Brandon Jones coming out of the slot. Charles Woodson, that's a good no call right there. No, can't get that one, Kerry. Now, you should have had the one in the end zone. We'll give you that one. But that's a good no call there.
Just do a great job of stoning people on the line of scrimmage and throwing everybody's timing.
Hedrick punting from the 30. Takes a Titans bounce. All the way down to the 15-yard line. 44 yards on the punt and roll. Packers trail by 3, start from their own 16-yard line. Still without left tackle Chad Clifton on the sidelines due to illness. And the Titans missing a couple of key defensive players, Kyle Vandenbosch and Keith Bullock. Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Now get over 130 of your favorite channels in HD. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter here in Nashville. As Darrell and Tony have been talking about, it's been a very physical game. The Titans looking to maintain their perfect record. Bullock back on the field for Tennessee, second down and 10. Rodgers nearly tripped. Now he throws, and the catch is made by Donald Driver. So Rodgers nearly went down. He fires to Driver, 19 yards, and a Packer first down.
And we talked about his composure earlier in the first half, but here's another great example of it. His center steps on him, stumbles out, doesn't lose his composure, makes a great throw to Donald Driver. And again, this Green Bay Packers group of receivers, very good after the catch. So Nick Parker, a nice job right there, saving some extra yards. We've seen some nice catch and runs by the Packer wide receivers today. Almost another opportunity there.
4 receptions, 76 yards for Driver. Play clock at 4. On first down, it's Grant. Grant unable to turn the corner. Javon Curse brings him down from behind.
I don't like that play against this defense, Tony.
I'll tell you what, they're so spread out there on the defensive line. It looks like it's good, but that guy right there, Jim Schwartz, I'll tell you what, he goes and develops defenses to go and fit his players. He finds out what a player can do well. I'll tell you what, that man right there will be a head coach in the National Football League. He was with us in Baltimore, extremely smart, very player-friendly. We talked to him, Moose. I mean, he'll tell you exactly what he's going to do. He's going to say, this is what we're going to do. Come out and beat us. And I'll tell you what, he's got a great track record. I wish him the best.
His 8th year as the coordinator here in Tennessee. Rodgers looking to set up the screen to Grant, who dropped it.
And the one thing he does, Tony, he makes everything, real simple. He doesn't kind of get into that coach speak and confuse you with different things. He's got a really good way of saying things very succinctly and to a way where a player hears it one time and he completely understands what he's trying to get across with his message.
Well, you can have players out on the field that aren't thinking, that are just reacting and using their athletic ability. They're going to play a whole heck of a lot better than if you're confusing them out there. And that's exactly what Jim Schwartz does.
Packers must get to the 45 for a first down. Rodgers being chased. Down he goes. The 4th sack of the game for the Tennessee Titans.
They're relentless down there, Moose. They just keep coming and coming, grabbing on the stuff. They don't let go. I'll tell you, they really come after you. Here they are right here. 4 guys down. Only 4 guys rushing. Look at them, little stunts. Boom, look how they fill. I'll tell you what, against a good offensive line, too. We talked about it early in the game. This defense is for real, if anybody was wondering if they played anybody good out there.
Second sack goes for Dave Ball today. Chris Carr. 55-yard punt by Frost. And a return on 11. 10.5 remaining, fourth quarter. Titans have won 10 consecutive regular season games. 7-0 this season. 3-point lead. And they start from their own 28-yard line. Collins to the air on first down. Chris Johnson. Tackled by Grady Papenga after gaining 4.
This is a nice play design here. You split Bo Scaife outside. You get your safety to come out in coverage. Take him inside. Have him crack the linebacker level. And then watch David Stewart, 76, trying to get out here. Little play on Aaron Campman, and then works to the outside. I tell you, he and Brady Papenga have been going at it all day long. There's been a couple of battles where the guys have been lining up from across from each other this afternoon that have just been a pleasure to watch.
Papenga, 15-yard penalty earlier for his hit on Stewart. An adjustment by McCarron's unable to make the catch as we check in with Kurt Menefee.
Chiefs scored on the Bucs on a trick play earlier, so how about turnabout? Ernest Graham, the running back, with a pass to Alex Smith. And the Buccaneers getting closer. It's 24-19 now early in the fourth quarter. Back to Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
All right, thanks, Kurt. 3rd down and 6 for the Titans. Darrell, Tennessee averaging just 2.5 yards per play here in the second half.
It's really turned into a defensive battle. Both defenses playing very, very well.
3rd down and 6 inside handoff. Did not fool the Packers. Justin Harrell active for the first time this season. Activated yesterday. The Packers will get the ball back.
One of the reasons that this defense is excited and feeling like they're back on track is they're getting guys back. Justin Harrell right there does a good job playing off, getting in, making the tackle. They've got some of their guys back into their defensive line rotation. It had gotten very thin a couple weeks ago. Even Aaron Campman had to go down inside and play tackle.
He didn't like that too much, I can tell you.
There you go. There's a punt.
What a punt by Hendrick. Taken at the 9 by Will Blackman. Blackman finds a lane and brings it all the way back to the 30. Good return. 21-yard return by Blackman following the 60-yard punt by Hendrick. Take that, Eric King. Under 9 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Titans lead the Packers by 3. First and 10, Green Bay from their own 30-yard line. Rodgers hands it off, Brian Grant. Grant out across the 32 to the 33. David Thornton made the tackle.
You got to pay off a couple of guys who stepped in today and played really well with guys being out. Chad Clifton is out. Derek College is kicked out to left tackle and done a nice job out there. Jacob Ford, Dave Ball, both getting extended playing time this afternoon because Kyle Vanden Bosch couldn't go, have played well. Good to see teams where when somebody goes down, especially a frontline player, you guys right behind there step in and play well.
Ford and Balldown have combined for 3 sacks today. Here's Grant. Grant, first down and more. Ryan Grant out to the 46, and Michael Griffin made a tackle that perhaps kept Grant from taking it all the way.
This is when Ryan Grant is at his best, when you can get him into a one-cut situation. Stretch play, one cut, shoulders squared, downhill into the secondary.
13 yards for Grant. He has 80 on 18 carries. Donald Lee shifting into the backfield. First and 10 from the 46. Rodgers a pump fake and now hits a wide open Donald Driver. Driver down to the Titans 25.
It's just like they were setting him up for the second half. During the first half of this game, a lot of short routes, hitches, slants, routes like that. We've seen a couple of double moves because they know that this is a physical group. They like to jump routes. You see this on film. You test them and you try their patience in the first half, and then you make them pay in the second half.
That's why you can't be too aggressive. You can be aggressive, but if you're over-aggressive, they're going to come back and they're going to use it against you.
Driver over 100 yards for the first time this season. From the 25, Grant. And Grant brought down No gain. Stephen Tulloch makes the tackle.
Well, he is a good football player. Not one of those prototypical guys, a little undersized, but I tell you what, you get everything you can out of him. Right here in the middle, just a great sense for the ball. Able to find his way through the holes. Good hesitation, good read. Then look at the burst. As soon as he reads it, as soon as he sees draw, he doesn't turn his shoulders, doesn't take himself out of position to react to it.
Rodgers on 2nd and 10, deflected and it nearly picked off. It bounced away from Driver. And the Titans thought they had a 3rd takeaway in this second half.
Well, Donald Driver knows he's got Titans all around him. You want to be sneaking a peek to see where he's going to go. That ball is coming out of the shade into the sun.
Nick Hoffer had a chance. Hit the ground. Third down and 10. 3 receivers set. Packers have to get to the 16. Brandon Jackson. Jackson to the 20, the 19. Tackled 3 yards shy of a first down, and now Mason Crosby will try and tie this game.
Well, there's some of the decision-making of Aaron Rodgers right there. You've got a 3rd down situation. You don't have anything open down the field, and your 3 wide receivers set. Check it down to Brandon Jackson. Let him push the pile, get it down closer to give Mason Crosby an opportunity to tie this game. Don't take points off the board by getting a sack, by throwing into coverage.
Crosby 2 for 2 today. A 38-yard attempt from the right hash. Derek Frost is the holder. Frost puts it down, and Crosby's kick is straight through. With 5.5 remaining in the 4th quarter, we are tied at 16. Titans led 16-10 late 3rd quarter. A couple of field goals by Mason Crosby, and with 5.5 remaining here in Nashville, this game is deadlocked at 16.
Kind of the game we expected. Yeah, both of these teams have very good defenses. Tennessee Titans have done a good job forcing Green Bay to kick. They've had some big plays, but they haven't given up touchdowns. Something that's worked well for them all season long.
Chris Carr on the return, and Carr takes it out to the 34, and it's the kicker, Mason Crosby, who makes the tackle.
Chris Carr has been a great addition. You asked Jeff Fisher about it. Well, we had an opportunity to speak to him on Friday, and you know, for a team that's built with this style of play, their MO is to run the ball, control the clock, play great defense, good special teams. To have somebody that gives you good starting field position, something they didn't have last year. Chris Carr has been a really great dimension, a great addition to this Titans team.
Remember, Pac-Man Jones had been their return man, suspended last year, and they struggled in the return game, but Carr has been terrific. Titans have struggled offensively here in the second half. They've punted 4 times on 5 drives, and Collins has that pass batted back at him by Johnny Jolly.
Goose, you'd be proud of the way they're playing right now. You know, they know that Curry's throwing the short pass. They're just getting up there, getting their hands up in those throwing lanes.
Yeah, but if that ball hits you in the chest, you got to catch it, Jolly. Man, watch him right here. He goes, he jumps up, boom. I mean, you could have caught that one. Gonna show a little athleticism there. He got some air, though. He did.
Second and 10. Nick Collins right there to make the tackle on Chris Johnson. We've talked a lot about the Tennessee defense, but the Packers defense has done a very nice job today. Very
good job. And you know what? A lot of it is the preparation. I mean, we've talked about how well they play, how physical they are. But on that play right there, one of the things that this offense of the Titans does, they get people down the field, and then they're trying to get the ball underneath to Boscave, to Chris Johnson. Nick Collins does a great job of seeing that whole play develop and kind of hits it on the run, gets there right as Chris Johnson makes the catch.
It held the Titans to just 54 second half yards. Titans have to get to the 45. Collins firing downfield. That one is nearly intercepted by Atari Bigby.
How many of these are going to see today, Moose?
I don't know.
There's a lot of opportunities for turnovers, missed opportunities, I might add.
I tell you, Goose, they could have easily had 3 interceptions this afternoon. They are getting hit in the chest, They got balls floating in the air, and they got 2 people diving in for him. That's a little bit of rust by Atari Bigby. He's been out with a hamstring issue. He's just completely late getting his hands up.
Petrick punted only once in the first half. This is his 5th punt of the second half. High snap. Taken by Blackman. Fair catch at the 18-yard line. So the Packers get the ball back with 4 minutes, 24 seconds remaining. And the Giants and Cowboys coming up. Last week, Giants with a huge road win in Pittsburgh, while the Cowboys beat the Bucs at Texas Stadium. Giants are 6-1, Cowboys 5-3. An NFC East matchup coming up on Fox, and the Cowboys have won the last 3 meetings with the New York Giants in the regular season.
Yeah, they lost the important one last year, but this game is really talent versus team. The Giants, that game they played last week in Pittsburgh, they just found a way to win that game. They hang in there. They just do all the little things. Very similar to what Tennessee and Green Bay have been doing this afternoon.
First and 10, 18-yard line for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Nice catch, Donald Driver. And then he breaks free for 5 more yards, takes it out to the 29, a Packers first down.
He's had a couple ones bounce off his hands, off his chest, and then he makes a fantastic catch right there. Gets his head around late. That ball's right on top of him, off his body, and still able to pull it in.
Driver had only 1 reception in the first half. It was for a touchdown. The Packers only touchdowning has 5 catches here in the second half for 111 yards. From the 29, the handoff to Grant. And Ryan Grant takes it out to the 35-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds by Stephen Tulloch.
Albert Hainsworth almost could have took the handoff himself in the backfield. Beats the guy in the line of scrimmage. Penetrates, gets all the way back. Disrupts it in the backfield. I mean, watch him right here. There he goes. He beats the first double team, goes. He just has to wrap up a little bit, but he goes and makes the runner bounce to the outside. And that's why they were able to go and not have a huge gain on that play.
But John Kuhn's the guy that got the corner for him, Goose. That's why you got to have a fullback in front of you, because if you get beat quick, he's there to kind of clean things up.
Way to lobby for that fullback, Mose.
Now Rodgers going deep, looking for Jennings, and Greg Jennings is unable to make the catch. No flags. Cortland Finnegan on the coverage.
Tell you what, Finnegan has played a great game today, man. I know he bit on one earlier, but he's been right with Jennings all day.
What a great throw by Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is a deep throw. There's a more double move on this. They are battling all the way down the field. He's got his hands on him. I can see why Greg Jennings is lobbying for it, but I like the no call. I like the no call. He's got his hands wrapped around. I was wondering why he didn't get that thing pulled in. Maybe that should have been a call.
Packers got away with one in the end zone earlier.
It's karma.
They're letting them play.
It's all karma.
3rd down and 4. Rodgers fires, caught for a first down by Donald Driver in Titans territory. Tackled at the 45-yard line after gaining 20.
You talked about the numbers that Donald Driver's put up here in the second half. It's because you've got to worry so much about Greg Jennings and his big playability. Donald Driver's just having a field day here in the second half, and you can see the old adage, football's a game of inches. Boy, that ball just got beyond the outstretched hands of Keith Bullock.
That was a nice wiggle, too, there at the end.
Last time Driver faced the Titans, he had 10 catches, 150 yards. Today, so far, 7 for 136. Rodgers can't find anyone, throws it away. Good decision by Aaron Rodgers.
Very good, very good. You know, you got to get that clock in your head kind of. You want to set it a little bit early when you're playing the Tennessee Titans. You want to have that ball come out a little bit faster.
3rd time over 300 yards this season for Rodgers, and it's the first quarterback to throw for 300 against the Titans, Darrell, in the last 22 games since Peyton Manning, September of 2007.
Well, a bold statement by this Tennessee Titans defense. They said without a doubt the best receiving corps they'll have faced all season long, and that's right after they played the Indianapolis Colts.
2nd and 10. Rodgers steps up. He throws. Deflected and then nearly intercepted by Finnegan. Jordy Nelson was the intended receiver.
There's your guy Finnegan again, Moose. That's one of the battles we talked about him all day. Guys going at it. He's just fighting for whatever he can get there.
Great job by Stephen Tulloch as he's pulling out. He's trying to get into his spot on the field. Gets his hand up, gets a deflection on that ball.
Third down and 10. Packers must get to the 35 for a first. 2:39 remaining in a tie game. Rodgers dumps it off. Jackson, and Jackson's tackled by Tulloch at the 42. Pressure up the middle on Rodgers. He had to get rid of it quickly as we check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Lions had a 10-point lead in Chicago, but they are the Lions. Rex Grossman with a touchdown on the quarterback sneak. It's 27-23. Bears trying to keep the Lions winless on the season. Kenny, Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. Clock winding down here in Nashville. And we hit the 2-minute warning. 4th and 7 from the Titans, 43 in a tie game. Well, no way Mike McCarthy would have sent out Mason Crosby to attempt a 61-yard field goal. So here's Derek Frost punting from the 47.
Catch it, don't let it hit the ground.
Bounces inside the 10 and is down at the 8.
Unbelievable. I mean, that ball was up in the air high enough where anybody who was back for the punt could have come up and fair caught that. You can't let that hit the ground at the 20.
So the Titans, with 1:49 remaining, will start from their own 8-yard line. 165 total yards for the backfield tandem for Tennessee, Lendale White and Chris Johnson. And how about what the Packers defense has done here in the second half?
Yeah, and this Titans offense better do something with this football right here because Green Bay has all 3 timeouts left. They get another 3 and out here. They could be right back down trying to attempt a field goal to win this game. This is critical for Kerry Collins and this offense to move this football.
First and 10, hand off Chris Johnson. And Johnson takes it out to the 15-yard line. Gain of 7. And a timeout is called by Green Bay with 1:39 on the clock. Mike McCarthy became a father for the 2nd time during the bye week, not getting much sleep. On the road here in Tennessee, Donald Driver with a touchdown in the 2nd quarter, but the Titans came right back. Chris Johnson running it in from 3 yards out.
That was a nice response on that drive right there. And then the defenses have kind of taken over here in the second half. Green Bay really set the tempo, and it's been their wide receiver group. The Titans were nervous about it. They have a lot of respect for this Green Bay wide receiver set, and they've shown why. They've had a huge afternoon here in the second half. Donald Driver and Greg Jennings putting up some big numbers.
2nd down and 3 following the 7-yard run by Johnson. From the 15-yard line, it's Johnson again, and Johnson has a Titans first down.
That's a difference in the mentality right there. This Titan offense, they're just trying to get that first down to get into overtime. Again, they're talking about a 4th quarter team. Now they get to play one more.
That's a long way, that end zone, for the way they play offense.
Collins to McCarrons. Justin McCarrons makes the catch at the 40.
We've seen this play
closer.
Yeah, well, we've seen this play attempted several times this afternoon. That back shoulder kind of go route. They play such tight coverage. You're not going to get it over the top, so they've been trying to get it on the back shoulder all afternoon. They finally get one completed, and at a critical time.
Looks like he just got control of that ball before he gets out of bounds there.
Nice catch by McCarrons. 1st and 10 from the 40. Collins to the far side to Brandon Jones. Tackled by Charles Woodson. He remained inbounds.
So much for playing for overtime now. Just had to get off their own, get out from the shadows of their own end of the field. Little urgency now by this Titans offense. They got a great field goal kicker.
Season long 49, career long 60. Collins throws it away with Aaron Campbell coming up the middle.
Yeah, kind of what we saw happen earlier in the game where the Green Bay Packers turned loose Javon Curse. Here the Titans turned loose Aaron Campbell. One of those guys you want to have accounted for if you're throwing the football.
So now a 3rd down and 2. Titans from their own 48-yard line. 37 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. Collins on 3rd and 2, and the catch is made at the Green Bay 40-yard line by Brandon Jones. A Titans first down.
Wow, this has been impressive. I mean, you see the team down inside the 10-yard line. They're running the ball. You think they're just trying to get themselves into overtime. As soon as they convert and get that first down, there's a completely different approach by Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator. Now aggressive down the field. A great back shoulder fade to Justin McCarron to get this drive started.
Prior to this drive, the Titans had gained only 57 yards in the entire second half. They started at the 8. So on this drive alone, they've gained 52.
That offensive line for the Tennessee Titans is doing a great job of giving Kerry Collins a lot of confidence to stand back there and make these throws also, guys.
Titans are in field goal range for Baronis. They'd like to get a little bit closer.
Well, you'd love to make it as easy as you can, but with that one, they've gotten well into Rob Baronis' range right now. They're probably right on the edge of it prior to that snap. What an impressive drive by this Titans offense with everything on the line.
Line of scrimmage, the 32. 2nd down and 3. Chris Johnson inside the 30, down to the 29. Clock winding all the way down to 4 seconds, and Jeff Fisher calls timeout, and this will set up a 47-yard field goal attempt for Rob Baronis. Welcome to Nashville. For those of you just joining us, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa, the 7-0 Tennessee Titans setting up for a potential game-winning field goal. They started this drive on their own 8-yard line. Rob Baronis, who is 3 for 3 today, comes out to attempt a 47-yarder.
And what we thought the Tennessee Titans were doing was just trying to convert a first down to get into overtime, starting out backed up at their 8-yard line. As soon as they got that first down, they kind of changed gears, hit a big pass to Justin McCarron. Boom, 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 right down the field, right to this spot to try and hit this game winner.
Craig Hettrick is the holder. And now a timeout called by the Packers to ice Baronis. The Titans have driven 64 yards in 8 plays after they had gained only 57 yards in the half prior to this drive. The only undefeated team in the NFL at 7-0. Big day for the Green Bay wideouts. Donald Driver with the only Packers touchdown, his first 100-yard game of the season. But it's Rob Baronis looking to win the game in regulation for the Tennessee Titans. His season-long, a 49-yard field goal. His career-long, 60. Many of you will see the Cowboys and the Giants next. Hettrick will place it down at the 37 on the left hash. This is for the win. It's for 8-0. The kick by Baronis is off the right upright. So the Packers and the Titans are heading to overtime.
You know what? This game deserves to go to overtime. The way it's been played, the way that the ebb and flow of this game is going. Look at Jeff Fisher. Knows he missed an opportunity, but you got to shift gears right now. You've got to get ready for overtime immediately. Yeah, you had a chance to win it in regulation. It didn't work out. Get your mindset right. Let's go out and win this toss. No, Coach, it's not. It's sliding to the right. It's sliding to the right. But this has been such a well-played game, and the thing that I've been impressed most with Tennessee is how they have responded each time Green Bay has kind of pushed them a little bit. It happened in the first half when they took the lead, had a great drive, went down, took the lead again. Green Bay responded. What a great drive at the end of the game by a Titan offense that was just completely inept the entire second half to at least give you the shot to kick the field goal.
Each team is given 2 timeouts. All the replays will be from the replay blue. Any questions? You're the visitors, you'll call it. 6-3, heads. And it's tails. You'd like the ball, what goal do you want?
Only the second miss of the season for Baronis. Off the right upright. Overtime is next. Green Bay Packers and the Tennessee Titans are tied at 16 as we welcome you back to Nashville. Titans have won the toss. Chris Carr back deep for Tennessee. From 2 yards deep in the end zone. Titans will start from the 22-yard line. And Jeff Fisher would love to see another drive like the one at the end of the fourth quarter.
Well, I mean, you kind of floundered around the entire second half, and then with the game on the line, you put together your best drive. I really thought they were playing just to get to overtime. They give Rob Baronis an opportunity to win the game at the end. But, Tony, everything we thought this game was going to be about when we started.
This is a backyard brawl, and you know what? You talked about Tennessee and their offense, how they opened it up. They need to do that here in the overtime. They need to go and get Kerry Collins throwing balls downfield and start exciting this offense a little bit and put them in an opportunity to go and kick another field goal to win this game.
From the 22, Chris Johnson. Johnson across the 25, gain of 4. It's the 8th overtime game in the NFL this season. Last overtime game for the Packers, the NFC Championship game, the loss at Lambeau to the New York Giants. Titans played 1 overtime game last year, a 23-17 loss to San Diego. 3 wide receivers, second down and 6. Collins' pass was tipped. Ryan Pickett got a piece of it, so 3rd and 6 coming up for Tennessee.
I agree with the Goose. It's kind of back to what they were doing prior to that last drive. I mean, on that last drive, as soon as they converted and got the first down, kind of got out of the shadow of their own end of the field, they took a shot down the sideline and hit Justin McCarron. They come out in this drive and they kind of go back to what they were doing up until that drive.
And the Packers defense knows that they're going to come out and do this, and that's exactly what they're playing to. They're playing to the short passes, running to the ball, getting their hands up. They need to go downfield in order to get some yardage.
Titans have to get to the 32, Goose. And they do, as the pass is caught by Johnson. Chris Johnson takes it all the way out to the 41-yard line. They needed 6. They pick up 16.
Here's a good play design. Justin McCarron's the guy who had the big play to start that drive to almost get the game-winning field goal, comes in motion, so they get him off. When he releases to the inside, watch, the linebacker's going to pick him up as he comes across. Now that turns that whole area of the field loose. Look at the amount of room that Chris Johnson has to work with. Just a nice little design with the release and the motion to confuse the coverage.
First and 10, 42-yard line. Chris Johnson. Johnson across midfield. And Johnson finally tackled by Nick Collins after a gain of 14. He takes it down to the Green Bay 44.
Well, he is explosive. He is explosive. And there it is again. It's not just to the outside. You talk about his breakaway speed, but he is not just an edge runner. He's got a great feel. He presses, good patience, gets back inside, and he's physical when he runs between the tackles.
Johnson down to the 42. And for our viewers, we are going to keep you here in Nashville as long as possible, but we'll get you to the kickoff of the late games. 2nd down and 7. Coming up for the Titans from the Packers 41. There's Rob Baronis hit the right upright on a 47-yard field goal attempt, which would have won the game at the end of regulation.
How bad does he want another shot at that goal post?
Line. Emil White tackled by Nick Barnett. 3rd down and 4.
They're kind of in that area of the field where it's a tough choice. You know, Rob Baronis, you know, he's got a good leg, but you know, he didn't hit that one on that last field goal very good. So you know, you don't get a true gauge. You got to go to your special teams coach right now, figure out what his distance was as the game was starting.
It's right there, White. Now White picks up a 1st down, running hard. We've seen Johnson for the most part of the 2nd half, but White here in overtime moves the chains for the Titans.
That was huge right there because it takes that entire decision-making process completely off the table. I mean, that's a tough one. You get negative yards or a short gain in that situation, you're really weighing your decisions about playing field goal or field position or trying to go for a 53, 54-yarder. Kevin Mawai shows you how important that conversion was right there.
Mawai, the leader of the Titans offensive line. Johnson in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. This is Johnson. Stutter step. Johnson down to the 26. Michael Montgomery made the tackle.
Again, the response by this Titans offense with the game on the line. They did it at the end of regulation. They're doing it again to start overtime. Mike Heimerdinger doing a great job mixing some things up.
Titans trying to remain perfect. Tennessee will visit Chicago next Sunday. From the 26 on 2nd down. Johnson. Here's Johnson down to the 23. Again, it's Montgomery. And another 3rd down situation. 3rd and short for the Titans.
Just a nice job. I mean, Johnny Jolly's got him in the backfield. He's gonna get him for a loss. It's gonna put him back around the 30-yard line.
On 3rd down, Titans have sent out the field goal unit. For those of you in the home markets of the late games, you will soon be leaving us, and we will switch you to the start of your game. So in case anything goes wrong, Titans send out the field goal unit. On 3rd down, it will be a 41-yard attempt. And now the Packers use their first timeout of overtime. Moments ago, at the end of regulation, Baronis for the win from 47. Off the right upright, sending this game to overtime. Great job by our entire crew today, led by producer Barry Landis, who was with us over the first half of the season. He's done just an outstanding job. Our director, Michael Frank, associate directors, Fran Morrison and Jeremy Green, associate producers, Chirag Navaskar, technical producer, Eric Steinberg, technical director, Chris Castro, senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, the executive producers, Ed Gorin and David Hill. Tim done with our audio. 41-yard attempt for the win. From the left hash, Baronis this time nails it.
This Titan team continues to do a great job of their MO, one game at a time. They knew this was a big one. This is a talented Green Bay team. They've gotten healthy over the bye. What a great job responding by Tennessee after that emotional game against the Colts Monday night. And the way this whole thing played out, just a great ebb and flow to the game. They stepped up and made the plays when they had to. I'm really impressed. I mean, this speaks volumes to me. This says more for me about this Titans team than the victory over the Indianapolis Colts last Monday night.
The Tennessee Titans make it through the first half of the regular season perfect. 8-0 record for the Titans. Packers drop to 4-4. For Moose and Goose, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Nashville. The second game of our doubleheader is coming up next.